I'm so happy you're here with me today. I have a really fun video for you today if you are a demonstrator, that is. If you're not a demonstrator and you're here to see a crafty video, I want you to know that this is not my crafty video day. I have lots and lots of crafty videos on my YouTube channel and my blog, but on Thursdays, I dedicate that day to sharing with other demonstrators, Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So if you'd like to tune in and stay here because you're curious, great, I would love to have you. But if you're not interested in that, then this isn't the video for you. Go click on another video on my YouTube channel for a crafty fix. Okay, so we are going to talk about product shares today. My goal is to have this be a one video presentation basically, but if I can't get through everything today, then I will definitely be doing a second video to finish up the information. Okay, so what is a product share? What is that? That is basically a wonderful, I don't know who came up with this idea. Somebody along the way came up with the idea to, look at all that glare in my glasses, it's horrible. Somebody came up with the idea to basically order all of the product from a specific grouping. So let's say ribbon, embellishments, paper, and then cut it or make it into smaller packaging and then sell it that way. So the reason that a product share is really cool is you're able to get a lot of different products for a lower price point, but you get less of them, right? So we're going to talk about paper a little bit here for just a moment, in that for a paper share, for example, if you wanted to split a paper share 4 ways, let's say you had 4 people sign up, just to keep this really simple. You had 4 people sign up. You would buy one of every single one of the papers in the catalog, split that into 4 sections. So you would cut it 6 by 6, and each person would get a quarter of the pack of paper. So it would end up being 4 sample packs of 1 pack of paper. So as a demonstrator, you buy all that paper, you put the work into cutting it, repackaging it, and then it gets sold to somebody else. Okay, but there's a few rules regarding paper shares, product shares, and there's also lots of tips and tricks and information you need to know about how to do them. So that's what we're going to kind of dive into today. So just to set you up before we even start, let's talk about the rules. And I'm going to say that if you have a question about any compliance issues, you should contact Stampin' Up! Directly. I am going to tell you what I know, okay? So what I know is that we cannot cash and carry product. What that means is I can't buy a bunch of product without it going to a customer and then turn around and try to sell that product. I cannot do that. What I can do is I can have people sign up and say that they're going to purchase these items, and then I can invoice them for those items. They pay for them, and then I can buy them from Stampin' Up! So the items are paid for prior to me purchasing them. That is really important, and that is the compliance regulations, the way I understand them and the way I've been explained by Stampin' Up! About them. So if you disagree with that, or if you think that's incorrect, or any of those things, please contact Stampin' Up! Directly. No need to leave me a comment. I'm just telling you what I know for sure. You also can't have any sort of direct button on your blog or your website in order for people to purchase. Okay, so product. So that being said, now we have that stuff out of the way. That's an important piece to know. The next piece you have to know is the date of delivery. So if you're going to ship a paper share or a product share, or you're going to hand deliver it, you need to pick that date first. You have to pick that date in accordance with whenever you're going to order the product. So let's say you're doing a paper share around the new holiday catalog. Well, you cannot place the order for the paper until September 4th. So you wouldn't want to promise paper delivery September 6th, because that's not going to give you enough time to cut and prep the paper and get it sent out if you're mailing it or even hand delivering it. You have to buffer in time for shipping and all of that. Now, if you want to pay for 2-day shipping, that's fine, but you should figure that amount into the cost of your paper share so that you're not coming out of pocket for that 2-day shipping fee. Because if you do that, then unfortunately you're basically losing money. So the next part of this is going to be showing you how to do your timeline for an event or a share and how to do the financial piece of it. And I have some really fantastic sheets in my workbook that you can use, and it will help you a lot. But before we get there, I need to say a few other things. In order to have successful product shares, it really helps to have a few customers. So if you don't have any customers at all, this could be an opportunity for you to get a few. You could totally say like, hey, I want all the paper from the new catalog, but I can't really afford to buy it all right now. Do I have 3 other people that would be interested in going in with me to get this paper? And then you could be one of your own customers by purchasing one of the samples for yourself, and then have 3 other people too, because you never know. Maybe there's people that want paper or ribbon. I mean, ribbon's really versatile, and anybody can use ribbon for all kinds of different things. So you don't even have to be crafty to need ribbon, right? Okay, so the other thing that you have to do is you have to be able to figure out splitting up all the different products. So if you do ribbon and it's 10 yards of ribbon and you want to split it 4 ways, it's a little bit difficult. But if you want to, you go, okay, so this ribbon's coming and it's 10 yards. I'm going to give everybody 2 yards. So I'll split it 5 ways. So there's a little bit of complicated math that can get involved with different products. Paper's really easy and really straightforward. I find it the easiest share to do because it's really quick and you can cut and be done. And so it's personally the easiest for me, and that is the only share that I do. I don't even do any other shares. The other thing is I stepped my share up a notch, and I do card kits with all of my shares, along with giveaways and some Facebook Live videos. I have another couple demonstrators that help me out with it and do it. So it's a really fun, interactive event. It's not just here's your paper, have fun. There are other elements involved with the paper share. So those are some options to look at as well, and how you will budget for those is a little bit different. You have to charge a little bit more in order to cover your cost for an event like that. So we are going to get into all the dynamics of that on paper in front of you at my desk, because it's going to be way easier for me to write it out for you and for you to see it than me sit here and just tell you. So that's going to be the next part of this. And I think we are going to get through this entire training in one video. So I'm excited about that. All right, so join me at my stamp table and we'll hammer out numbers. Okay, so we are going to go over all the aspects of doing a product share. And this is the part of the video that could possibly take a little bit more time. So just sit back, relax. I've got my LaCroix sitting here ready so that if I get parched, I can have a drink. I have my calculator. We're ready to go. So first thing you have to do is decide what kind of share type you're going to do. Now, maybe you want to do multiple shares. So let me back up a little bit. If you want these documents, these are going to be in my updated version of my business budget workbook and available there. These are really great tools to help you do your shares and keep them organized and make sure that you're making a profit doing them. And I am going to be increasing the cost of the budget workbook just a little bit in the month of September. So if you want to get it now at $24.99, I highly recommend purchasing it now. And then when I send the update, everybody who's already purchased it will get the update for free. So these are 2 of the new documents that are going to be in the update of the workbook. All right, so let's do this. We're going to use a paper share for an example, and then if we have time, we might do a ribbon share. The trick here is that the ribbon shares and embellishment shares can get a little bit more quirky because you have to figure out how many you can split them by. So for example, some of the ribbons in the catalog might be 5 yards, while some of them might be 10 yards. So you need to break down and make sure that you understand how you're going to divide that ribbon up. So for example, if you have a spool that's 5 yards and you have 5 people in the share, then that spool, they're only going to get 1 yard apiece. Where if you have a 10-yard spool, they're going to get 2 yards apiece. So those are pieces you need to understand for doing things like ribbon and embellishments. Same with the embellishments. If you have a sheet of epoxy embellishments and there's 6 rows, then that means you could split that 6 ways. But there might be another embellishment you're trying to provide that could only be split 4 ways evenly, or, you know, there's just a little bit more math that goes into those, and you might have to figure out each individual item and how it could be split and the cost. For paper, it's really easy and straightforward. You have 2 choices. I'm going to use a Post-it note for this. You essentially have, well, really you have lots of choices, but the most common choices are either a 1/4 of a pack of designer series paper or an 1/8 of a pack. So there's pros and cons to both. The pro of doing a 1/4 of a pack, which is you've got a 12 by 12 pack of paper, okay, and you're going to cut it 4 ways, 6 by 6. So everybody gets 2 sheets or 4, whatever that pack is, however many sheets it has in it, they're just going to get a 1/4 of it. Now, if you want to split this pack into 8, that means they only get 1 sheet of each. So then you've doubled this amount. The thing is this, the pro to doing a 1/4 of a pack is that it's really quick and easy to cut. You don't have to shuffle the paper and take it apart. The 1/8 of a pack is a cheaper price point, but they're getting less paper. So if you're new at this and you're feeling like maybe a cheaper price point would be a little bit better for my customer base, then you could go with an 1/8 of a pack. But I will tell you, it will take you much longer to cut and package because you have to sort all those papers out. And some papers don't have the right number of sheets per pack. So it is really easier to do a 1/4 of a pack, okay? So we're going to base everything that I'm going to do on a 1/4 of a pack of paper. So the share type is a paper share. And then I would put like holiday. So you're going to have to go through the holiday catalog and find all the papers that are in the holiday catalog. There were 8 papers in the holiday catalog. However, one of those, there's another one that's the acetate, the new acetate. It's like, I think it's called like mercury something acetate. I did not include that in my paper share. Now I might include it as a free gift. I might get it with my host rewards and include it as a free gift, but I made no promise of that because sometimes specialty papers don't cut well. And so I didn't want to promise that paper and include it in my share and then not be able to deliver the product. So, I'm splitting it 4 ways. So quantity of the split, I'm splitting 4 ways. And then I'm just going to make a note over here, 8 packs, so that I know there's 8 packs of paper. So as you know, they cost different amounts of money. If it's a specialty paper, it's $14.50. If it's a regular designer paper, it costs $11.50. So I don't have them all written out next to me at the moment. So we're just going to, for time's sake, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to put them all at $11.50. So you need to do your own math, okay? We'll throw 1 in at $14.50. You're going to have to do this for yourself. This is not accurate. Let me repeat this. This is not like the accurate numbers for the holiday paper share. So please do not copy this and think that it's correct. You need to fill this sheet out yourself. You need to sit down and fill it all out yourself. Okay, so then you're going to add these up. All right, so gonna do this, well, it'd be easier to just go $11.50 times 7 plus $14.50. So $95. So down here at the bottom, I have $95. Now, this is just the retail amount. Okay, so you could even put this here if you wanted to. Actually, I even left one off. Whoops. So we'll do $95. I did this wrong. You don't put that there. So this is $95. And then you need to figure in tax and shipping that Stampin' Up! Is going to charge you. Because Stampin' Up's not going to give you this paper at $95 retail. They're going to add on the tax and shipping, right? And this is what you're working to figure out to charge your customer. So $95 for me, I have to do my 10% first. So that's $9.50. And then I have to add in my sales tax, which is $7.75 where I live in California. So that's $8 and it's $8.10. I gotta round up. $8.10. Okay, so we're gonna go 95 plus $9.50 plus $8.10 gives me $112.60. Now we need to divide that by 4, right? $112.60 divided by 4 equals so $112.60 is what your total is. So your fee that you're going to charge, I'm going to make a change. See, this is perfect. This is why I do this, because I haven't released this yet. So I'm actually going to update this to add, I'm going to add a tax and shipping area. And then a per share fee. See, it's good. It's a good thing. Okay, and then, so this is how much it would be per share if you just provided the paper and you hand delivered it. Okay, so I also need to add other costs per share. So in my case, I can't hand deliver paper, so I have to add on $8 shipping because it cost me $8 to buy a padded flat rate envelope and ship it. And I use a padded flat rate envelope for all my shipping for classes and different things because I can fit more stuff in it. So at this point, we would add the $28.15, which is just the cost of the share. I'm adding shipping. If you're doing an online or long distance share, then you need to add shipping as well. And then in addition to that, am I providing anything else? Now, in my case, I like to provide a party event with my share. Well, that costs money. It costs money to cut a card kit for every pack of paper. It costs money to provide giveaways and stuff, and it costs money to pay people to help me pull this off. So you can sit and do all the math on that if you want to and figure out every finite detail, but for the sake of time, in my case, I just pad it with $5 or $6, and per share that ends up being enough that I can get gifts, I can pay my people that are helping me. So we'll just say $6. And this will be miscellaneous because it takes a lot of hours to pack and cut and do all the things. Okay, so this brings us to $42.15. So that's a weird amount to pay. So I would round it to 42 or 43. Probably 43 because it's an odd number. Don't ask. Okay, so it would be 43, which my actual paper share for the holiday catalog is $45. So these numbers are not off that much. Okay, so now you know what you're going to charge for your share. Now it's possible you could do a $28 or $29 share if you were delivering it yourself or they were picking it up at a class, so there's no shipping, and then you're not providing anything but the paper. So, I mean, that's possible, and then your price point would be lower. Okay, The share timeline. This is really important. And by the way, your calculating for your share is up here. So you always have this reminder on this sheet. Okay. The share timeline. This is important. Now, this is how we figure these things out. You need to work backwards. So first of all, we know for sure that we cannot even order this paper until 9/4. So we're going to kind of put that here in the middle. 9/4 order paper, right? So that means that by the time we get that paper, that's a Wednesday, and we all know when we place an order on a day of a new catalog, it's crazy. So we're going to say that we probably won't receive the paper until maybe Tuesday the following week. Now, I get it quicker because I'm in California. I'm closer to Utah. If you live further away, you need to pad more time for that. Then I've got to be able to cut the paper, cut the card kits, repackage everything, and get it sent out. So that means it's going to probably be my mailing or shipping date. I'm going to put for 9. I think I have it for 9/17 or 9/20. We're going to say 9/17. Ship date. Now, in the event that there's something crazy that happens, you can always email your customers and say, hey, I'm shipping a couple days later than I expected, but you really want to try to hit that date, okay? So then we have to work backwards, because obviously in order to have paper to order, you need to have customers that have signed up to purchase it. So if you're doing this online and you want to have success in getting people to place the order or request it, you have to have them either email you or fill out some sort of a form requesting it. You cannot take money for it until 7 days prior to the time to order. Okay, so my cutoff date for signing up for my share is 8/30. They have to sign up by August 30th. So we're going to work backwards from there. That means I actually started advertising my paper share on 7/26. Because I figured that gives me a whole month to let people know about my paper share. And I tell you, when I did my paper share in June, I had people emailing me after the fact saying, did you do a paper share? And I'm thinking, do you watch anything I do, people? I sent emails, I do YouTube. You can't advertise it enough. If you want people to be involved and you want them to purchase it and get it, then you have to contact people and let them know about it. Now, if you don't have any customers, that's a different video. This is a great opportunity to get some customers, like I talked about in the first part of the video. But if you already have a customer base and you're trying to do a paper share or a ribbon share or whatever, then that's this is where you need to be, okay? All right, so in my case, even after the ship date, I have another date. On 9/27, I'm having a holiday paper party. Now, this is totally optional, and I will tell you right up front, it's a lot of work. So I cut a card kit for every single pack of Designer Series paper. So there's a card kit for each. And in addition to that, I do giveaways and a Facebook Live. So that is the date of my event surrounding my party. Okay? My share. Okay. So then I wanted to show you all the other pieces. So this is a piece for after the share is all done, and we'll probably do a wrap-up video maybe in October on that. But you're gonna maybe you would staple these two things together, and then you would be able to sit and kind of come up with a plan for your next share and also know what your profit was and all those pieces. So it's really important to do this follow-up piece for your own benefit, to just know where you are. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is how I package my shares. So these bags are from clearbags.com, and I am not getting paid in any way to give out their information. They are just a company that I've used for a long time. They're actually located near where I live. I can physically drive there and pick up my orders if I want to. But these papers are cut, they're already, or not papers, these bags are 6x6 bags. So when you cut your paper to 6x6, they just slide right in and they fit perfectly. And the top is open. So this is an important aspect of this that you need to know, that you don't, you know, let me see, how do I want to say this? I'm trying to think of how to word it. Basically, just know that they're open at the top. So you do have to pay attention to that and not dump them upside down and tip everything out. There is no closure at the top of these. The other thing, I had to get up to grab these because I didn't have them handy. The other thing that I have is, I'm going through the list here. I use labels and I put them on every one of the shares. So you might think, well, why would you do that? Like, that seems like a lot of work, and why would you bother with that? Well, for one thing, I want every time the person pulls that paper out, I want them, if they want more of it, to know where to get it. So this is Bird Ballad designer paper. So I have a label that goes on just like this, and it labels the paper, what it is, how much it is for a full pack. I let them know this is a 6x6 sampler pack, give them the item number. Then I write all the colors that are used in this paper pack and my website. So that goes on every single pack of paper that is provided, so that they then can keep it in this nice little bag and use it when they want to, and know what kind of colors coordinate with it. So this is a really important aspect of my paper share, because I feel like this is providing ultimate customer service. So that is something really important for you to know. So then when I get all my papers together and all my card kits that I'm going to make together, I use an envelope like this. This is a priority mail flat rate envelope, and it's padded. And you can order these online from USPS for free. These don't cost anything. The shipping costs $8 for one of these, but the actual envelope itself is provided for free. So I'll link to that below this video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to link below the video, is I'm going to link to my business budget workbook. You're going to want to order that before September, because in September the cost of the workbook is going to increase because I'm adding so many new sheets to it. Not just these two, there's more. So the link for that is below the video. The link to clearbags.com is below the video. The link to these labels is below the video, and the link to these envelopes is below the video. So you have all the pieces you should need in order to successfully execute a paper share. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions for me, just let me know. And this same method applies to all products. So if you want to do a ribbon share, you would do the same method. You would list out all the ribbon, figure out how many you're dividing it by. Most of Stampin' Up's ribbon comes in either 5 yards or 10 yards. So you could divide it by 5, and then you know you need that many people to complete one share. As far as the logistics of taking money for it, you can check with Stampin' Up directly on compliance issues. However, my understanding is that you have to, if you're doing it online, you have to invoice them like 7 days before the catalog goes live, and then they can pay you. But they have to sign up and agree to be purchasing the paper share. You cannot purchase paper, cut it, and then sell it. Okay, that's cash and carrying. So that's really important. But again, if you have compliance questions on how anything is done, please contact Stampin' Up directly. I hope this helped you, and I hope you have an amazing day, and thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.